First question is, what did you do as a kid for fun?
What did I do for fun? Well, when I was young, I mean like 10 years old or 12 years old, I used to be a tomboy. And I used to go in the street and play with them on the street. They play kick the can and all kinds of games like hockey. And I would also join them.
Next question was, what was it also like to live through World War II? Because that must have affected America back then, like rations.
So we got married on August 28th, and August 29th he had to leave to go to the, whatever it's called in Chicago, maybe it'll come to me later. And
Basic training?
huh?
Basic training
Yeah, it's basic training, but that's not what it's called.
in Chicago. Okay, so you stayed in Cleveland.
Mm.
You stayed in Cleveland.
Yes, I was working at this big plant as like a stenographer. No, actually, before I went there, I was a stenographer for 5 lawyers. But
So 1943, World War II was in full effect.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was the mood like in the United States? Was everyone kind of afraid if the United States was going to be attacked, or was everyone...
No, because the war wasn't.
over here?
What was it on? This wasn't in the States. So.
It was in Europe.
Huh?
It was in Europe.
But when he enlisted and he went, he found out like in a week he was being shipped to the coast to like San Francisco, and they were going to board a ship and they were going to go over. See, he got lucked out. They were going to go over, be in the war, and they needed someone in their pay office, so they pulled him out. He actually was on a ship when he went to San Francisco, but he lucked out because they chose to have him as one of their accountants, where he then was sent, and all the mail was censored, so he couldn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't allowed to tell anybody where you were or what you were doing because there was a war. So he would send me things, like he stood in front of this hotel that said Royal Hawaiian with a wheelbarrow, and I still didn't get it. And then he said, my Aunt Pearl. He was at Pearl Harbor, see, where they had the big attack where they
Japanese.
blew up all those ships. So he was stationed in Hawaii for the entire war before he got
Discharged?
discharged. He was sent to the Naval Air Base in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I went there to live with him.
What was it like to live through the Depression? You were old enough to...
Well, I was really very, I don't want to use the word ignorant, not knowing how bad the economy was, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that much into conversation with adults about the economy.